Hello everyone. Water is one of the most vital resources. It dissolves and transports nutrients from the soil into the bodies of plants and animals, dilutes many of our waste, serves as a raw material for photosynthesis, and is a major factor in the world climate and weather patterns. Thus, all life on earth depends on the water. We might live a month without food, but only a few days without water. So, in today's resource geography, we are going to discuss water as a major natural resources, what are the factors for the depletion of this resource, and what are the conservation strategies we can adapt to make it sustainable. We know that water is one of the most vital resources as it supports life. The total amount of water on the surface of the earth is estimated to be about 1.5 billion cubic kilometers. Among this 1.5 billion cubic kilometers, 96.5% belongs to the oceans and the seas, and only the remaining 2.5% considered as fresh water source. The water resource, especially this freshwater resource, is divisible under two distinct categories: the surface water resource and the groundwater resource. Among this freshwater, 70% belongs to the ice sheets and glaciers, and the remaining only 30% is available as the surface and the groundwater. And this fresh surface water is being renewed through the process of hydrological cycle. Water scarcity is the condition where the lack of sufficient available potable water resource to meet the demands of a population within a region occurs. You can simply term it as the lack of access to safe drinking or potable water. There are three major conditions occur as a result of the water scarcity. That is, it involves water stress, water shortage, and water crisis. If you find difficulty in obtaining source of fresh water in a region due to climatic or any human interference, we term it as water stress. Water shortage generally persists over a short period of time. It generally occurs as a result of climate change like drought or pollution or overutilization of the water resource by the humans. Water crisis is a condition where there is sufficient available water resource in a region. At the same time, the demand of the population is comparatively higher than what it is available in that region. Let's look into the major causes of stress over the water scarcity in our world. Overexploitation of water is mainly caused due to the rapid population growth. As we know that the greater demand of water will increase with the increasing population, especially over the domestic use, has put pressure on the freshwater resource. The intense agricultural practices that has been adopted to provide higher amount of food production has exploited the groundwater resources in the name of high irrigation. The increasing number of industries has also put pressure on the existing freshwater resources in many areas. Urbanization. The increasing urban centers with dense population also requires more resources as the population is comparatively very high in those areas. Drought is a condition that is experienced in a region having very less rainfall, and those regions also faces difficulty in obtaining the potable water. Besides all these things, the quality of the water is also being degraded day by day. This is mainly due to the domestic and the industrial waste and the chemical fertilizers being discharged into the freshwater bodies without treatment. The consequences of this water scarcity and exploitation of water resources is unimaginable. The scarcity has caused the depletion of the freshwater resources and the availability to the population. This has created several health hazards. It also adversely affected the food security of many parts of the world, and thereby it prevented the growth of future generation. It also has a negative impact on the industrial development of a nation. The overexploitation and the mismanagement of water resources has degraded the natural ecosystem. So why we require the conservation of water? We know that many countries, especially like India, have sufficient amount of rainfall, but at the same time it is seasonal in nature. Thus, the availability of the water resource varies from place to place as well as from time to time. During rainy season, we are facing the floods. At the same time, the dry season, we have to face acute water shortage. Thus, the already available surface and the groundwater is not utilized properly, and much of it goes as wastage. Here comes the need of water conservation. So let's look into which are the various methods of water conservation. To prevent the disasters associated with flood and drought, water resource management is the need of the hour. It includes the construction of dams and reservoirs, linking the overflowing rivers to drier areas. The rainwater has to be stored in artificial tanks and ponds, and we have to increase the groundwater potential through rainwater harvesting. The dams and the hydraulic structures are barriers to obstruct the flow of water built across the river. It is being classified as the timber dams and the masonry dams. A multi-purpose river valley project is a river valley project that serves a number of purposes. It includes irrigation projects, flood control, power generation, navigation, and many other purposes. Most of the dams are being built with an aim of providing irrigation, power generation, flood control, and therefore it acts as a multi-purpose project. Let's look into what are the positive and the negative effects of constructing a multi-purpose river valley project. A multi-purpose river valley project helps in storing the water for the non-monsoon periods, and thereby it helps to control the flood. It is a source of power generation and acts as a watershed for preserving the biodiversity. The canals that have been linked with these multipurpose projects will provide inland navigation and also provides facilities for fishing. At the same time, the damming affects the sedimentary flow of rivers, and this will affect the habitat of aquatic life. The inundation of dams water leads to loss of vegetation and wildlife. It also leads to the depopulation, especially those of tribals. The high pressure on these multipurpose river valley projects can even lead to earthquakes. There are several industry disputes over the name of river water when a multipurpose river valley projects commence. Rainwater harvesting is another major method of water conservation. We know well that rain is the primary source of water in the hydrological cycle that recharges the secondary sources. Thus, capturing the rainwater where it falls using different technologies and making optimum use is being termed as rainwater harvesting. It involves understanding the value of conserving the rainwater and use it without any wastage. Let's look into the various methods of rainwater harvesting. Bamboo drip irrigation system is generally practiced in hilly areas where the water is being transported from small source perennial systems towards the lower areas. Capturing runoff from the local catchments is generally practiced in hilly and mountainous areas. The duct diversion channels from streams and divert water is a very good method to reduce the amount of flow to a lower areas and to provide those water to a drought-prone area. The rooftop harvesting is mainly practiced in arid and semi-arid regions. The rainfall falling on the slopes of the roof are collected through the pipe and stored in the wells or the tanks, and then they will recharge the groundwater. The rain-fed storage structures are also practiced in arid and semi-arid regions. Here, they will try to convert the agricultural lands to store water during the monsoon season, and this will allow the water to stand and moisten the agricultural plots so that the use of irrigation system will be less in those areas during non-monsoonal seasons. The tanks system or the tanker system is also practiced in arid and semi-arid regions. Here, all the houses will have a traditional underground tank system that will collect water. And the most important advantage of this system is that it does not allow the water to get polluted. So friends, I hope you have enjoyed today's session. For any doubts or suggestions, please post in the comment box or in the Edmodo. I wish you a great day ahead. Thank you.